And he's got the 911 for XP emergencies on this edition of Call for Help.
I hope these people can help me with my computer. A technician will be with you in 4 hours.
4 hours? You can upgrade for just $5,000. What? The Universal Serial Config board should be set to ID6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte at Call for Help. May I help you?
I heard there is a problem here. I'm here to help. Officer Leo. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to Call for Help. This is good. What do you think? Do I look like... Let me introduce my helpers, ladies and gentlemen. Monica Latanwa, Andy Walker. Do I look like... what? RCMP? Ottawa State Police? What
OPP.
OPP? What's OPP?
It's like the California CHIPS equivalent.
Oh.
Here in Ontario.
Patrol, huh?
Yeah.
Ontario Police.
We're done with it.
Yeah.
Provincial.
Well, you said 911. I came running. I always have to be careful taking this off because my wig doesn't go with it. Okay. It's a terrible thing, to have a wig and a hat. So hello, welcome. It's good to see you. Call for Help is here.
Yes, hooray, we're back.
So let me ask you what you got today on the show, Ms. Latanwa.
Well, I've got today's free file.
It's going to wake me up?
It's going to wake you up.
Get me excited?
Yep, it's alarming.
Oh.
Punster.
And you, my friend, Andy Walker, what do you have to do?
911 emergency window tips.
Oh, actually, these are great.
What happened, things to help you get out of a pickle.
When disaster strikes, what to do.
Yeah.
And instant messaging with Monica. We're going to talk about instant messaging without having to install a client, web-based. Plus, Marcel Gagne is going to be here. He's our Linux master.
All right.
He's going to tell us about transitional applications. That's programs that were either written for Linux and ported to Windows, or programs that were just always available on both. So if you're a Windows user, it makes it a little bit easier to move over to the Linux side of the fence. Mm-hmm. So we got a good show coming up for you. It's
super fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm really excited about Marcel being here because it's one of the things. I saw an article yesterday about the fact that about 5% of all businesses are using Linux on the desktop. So
yeah, you sent me that. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
It's really taken off.
Yeah,
but the real question is how we're going to get regular users to be comfortable with Linux. Because it's not Windows. It's not OS 10. It's still a little bit hard. Like installing applications and stuff is a little weird.
Well, I said to Marcel, as soon as you see Linux lessons at the library for grandmas and uncles and aunts and stuff like that, and I think it's going to happen in the next 10 years. You might see it happen.
Not only for cost reasons, more importantly because for security. I mean, nowadays with viruses and spyware and all this stuff on the Windows platform, I think people are looking for an alternative. It's a little bit safe.
The secret is to figure out a Linux distribution that is woman friendly.
Yeah.
Because, these weird geeky terms for Linux
it's not there yet.
Away.
It's not there yet. It really isn't. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about Linux, of course. For those of you who don't understand, what they're talking about is an alternative operating system that's free, like Windows. It runs on PC hardware, but unlike Windows, it's free, it's secure, it's reliable. It's actually been around a lot longer, and it's very, very reliable.
And it has penguins as a mascot.
And penguins, and who doesn't love penguins? Although, Tux the penguin, the Linux penguin with the orange beak and the orange feet, I'm told there is no such penguin in the world. There are no penguins with orange beaks and orange feet.
Not even Pingu?
Not even Pingu. So who's our first caller today, Monica?
Our first caller is Charles from Vancouver.
From Vancouver. Let's walk on over to Vancouver. I'm going to walk in. Yes, indeed. Hey, Basil, how you doing? Hey, good to see you again. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much. I like that. Hello, how are you, Charles? Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Bill? What do you think? I'm Bill Gates? I'm Leo. Hey, Charles, what can I do for you?
Sorry, Leo. No, when you started talking about Windows, and I thought
I get it.
Windows problems is like military intelligence and public service.
An oxymoron.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. What do you use Windows, Charles, or are you?
I'm using XP Pro on my main computer.
Yep.
And I was attempting to mate them. But the other one had Windows ME.
Never mate two versions of Windows.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't know what kind of weird animal you're going to create. So what's happened?
Okay, I got a copy of XP Home Edition. I loaded it onto my second computer.
Yep.
It went directly to my second hard drive.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have two copies of Windows.
Yes.
And I have to catch it in time when they're both loading.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I end up with the wrong one.
Yeah, what happens when you, in fact, let me restart this machine. I think I have a Windows install disk in this machine, so let me show you what will happen. When you start installing Windows, and you probably just glossed over this, it asks you, if it sees an existing copy of Windows, it says, would you like me to upgrade this existing copy or install a whole new edition? Now, it can do that because you had 2 drives. If you have to have a second partition, obviously, for that to work. So, it's going right into Windows. So I guess I don't have the install disk in here. Well, I can't show you. But now that you've done it, it's a little bit tricky. Do you want to stay with XP or do you want to stay with 98?
No, I've got ME on the other.
Oh, ME, okay.
I'd actually like to get rid of the Windows that's on my D drive.
Which is XP.
Which is the XP.
And you want to have, what do you want to have on your C drive, XP or ME?
Well, I'd like to have the XP. I guess I wasn't paying attention when I was loading it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then the best way to do this, and it's probably what I would recommend either way, best way to do this is to just do the install again, and this time at the beginning when it says, do you want to upgrade your existing edition of ME, say yes. Now, it is a little, upgrading the operating system like that is a little bit like taking a tablecloth on a set table and whipping it out without removing any of the plates. I mean, you're literally changing the guts underneath, and it can cause problems, sometimes compatibility issues, although I have to say that Microsoft did a pretty good job with XP to make it a pretty good upgrade. I've done a lot of ME to XP or 98 to XP upgrades without too much difficulty. So do that. Do the upgrade. Now, you're still going to have this issue of still have 2 versions. You've got one on C and one on D, but they're both XP now, at least.
Right.
Have you installed applications on D, or do you have data on D, or anything like that?
I've got lots of data on D, but no applications.
Okay. Well, you can get rid of the XP on D. What you're going to want to do is change the boot up process, and the way to do that is to open the System Control Panel, and in there, I'm opening mine right now. If you click on the Advanced tab, come on. I'm opening mine right now. I'm opening mine. Well, it's not opening on my system. Let me try it directly from the control panel. System Control Panel. I've never had this happen. My System Control Panel is gone. Well, anyway. Oh, there it is. Finally! Now, let me show you here real quickly. So I click the Advanced tab, and in the Startup and Recovery section there, Charles, you press the Settings button, and this is at the top, Default Operating System. This is the part you want. Now, mine only has one, XP Home. Boom. But you'll have 2 in that drop-down. So select the one that you want to use, which will be the one on the C drive. You might have to do some experimentation on that. And then you can uncheck these boxes, which are the menus. Okay.
Gotcha.
If that's all you need. It'll then log into the other one. It won't give you the choice unless you press a special key. The other thing you can do is you can modify by pressing. I should do that again. Pressing the Edit button, you can modify the boot ini, and you can actually take out. We only have 1 line here for operating systems.
Yep.
You'll have 2. You can actually take out that second line. And at that point, you can actually delete the Windows operating system from D. You don't need that anymore. Great. Now, the advice holds only if the operating system's on D. You cannot, because of the way Windows does this dual boot situation, you cannot just, if you wanted to keep D and lose C, you couldn't do that.
Right.
Because C has the bootloader and all that stuff. You figured that out. So you can't just delete C. But since you want to move to C, no problem. Just go in there, change the startup options on C, install XP first, just change the startup options, and then you can delete the stuff on D. Okay?
And it's that easy.
It's that simple.
Leo, you're wonderful.
Oh, well, I thank you so much, Charles, for watching the show. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Thanks for calling.
Cheers.
Yeah, if you want to join us on the show, by the way, we'd love to get your calls. The best way to do it is go to our website, callforhelptv.com. There's a link right there on the front that says, got a question? Click that link, fill out the form. It gives us information that helps us to answer your question a little bit better, and we'll get you on the show. We'd love to have you. Coming up next, if you have a Windows emergency, woo, Andy, thank you. Woo, that's my version of woo. Andy Walker's going to show us some expert tips to help you bail out of trouble. You stay right here. To call for help. What happens when the worst happens? Your Windows crashes, you lose your password, you don't have your registration key. Andy Walker is here with tricks to help you fix your Windows when the worst happens. PC fear factor.
I spend so much of my time rescuing my Windows.
You know, that's actually not, you're not alone. That's a very common problem.
It is. It seems to be a standard install. Crash Andy's computer. Crash XP.
So let's talk about a couple of things you can do to solve these problems. What's the first problem we're going to solve?
Okay, what happens when you have to reinstall Windows?
It asks for your serial number.
It asks for your serial number, your
Yeah.
product key.
Yeah.
And most people forget.
I don't know what it is.
Where the heck is it? I mean,
Right.
actually, it's on the back of
It's
your
written there.
Windows.
He's hiding it. He doesn't want everybody to see the whole thing.
There it is.
So you're hiding the back part of it with your
Back
finger.
part of it, so nobody...
That's why his big fat thumb is there.
Yeah. There we
So
go.
that
That's what it
is on the back of your Windows install. Now, a lot of times people don't get this particular package, but it may be also on your computer in a sticker.
Yeah.
That's frequently where they put it.
Yeah, or it's installed on your hard drive. You don't get the disk. Yeah. So
then where do we get our product key?
So we can actually recover it with, if you have XP, there's this great program, freeware, called Rock XP. And
is that all this does?
Is that, sorry?
Is that all it does?
Well, no, it recovers your Office.
Oh, it does a lot of stuff.
Key
Oh,
and
okay.
all kinds of other things. But I'm going to just pop it up real quick. So you can actually go use this program, click on My Product Key, and bingo, there it is.
Wow.
It pulls it from the registry.
Now, should we be showing that?
We should be showing that.
No, should we be showing that?
Oh, no, we shouldn't be showing that. Too late. Too late. That's okay.
You're on your honor not to copy that, all right?
Oh, man.
Anyway. That's all right. What the heck?
That's okay.
Okay. So so that would be enough to... Now, that's not the same as the activation key, though. You still have to activate Windows.
You still have to activate Windows, but you use that to sort of start the activation process,
right. You need it, yeah.
And if you don't have XP, you have an older version, you can actually go use the registry editor, regedit,
right,
and go into the registry. It's a scary thing. And
that's all this is doing. It's looking it up in the registry, because it's in there hidden.
But it's kind of... On
Do you have the instructions about where to look on the website?
Yeah, of course, on the show notes.
Callforhelptv.com.
Yeah.
All right, that's problem one. What's problem two?
Problem number two, let's say that you have created a Windows password to stop other people from getting into your installation of Windows.
Good advice. I think a good thing to do. Well, what if you forget it?
Which happens on a regular basis.
Yeah.
There's a preventative technique that you have to take before you forget the password.
If you've forgotten it, then that's something else. But you didn't do this. But do this first. Do it now. In fact, everybody could do it now.
Let's go. Yeah, go out right now and do it immediately. Okay. Go to your control panel.
I have to confess, I haven't done this yet. I'm going to have to run out and do it.
And go down to users. Now, you have to be loaded in on the profile or the user that you're going to create the password disk for. So you have to log in.
Okay, log in as a user. And you probably want to log in as an administrator.
Yes.
Because that's the main that's the one you really care about. You can change anybody else's password later.
Correct. So I'm logged in here as Bill Clinton right now as the administrator on this
machine. He is the administrator.
He is.
I'm the administrator of this machine. Don't touch it. Okay.
And on the left-hand side of the screen is a little
picture
function.
of Bill, actually.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Called prevent a forgotten password.
Prevent a forgotten password. Who'd ever thunk it?
So let's click here on that.
This is the Forgotten Password Wizard. Don't forget this password wizard. Doesn't that sound sad?
It does sound sad.
I'm the Forgotten Password Wizard.
Right. Abandoned. And there's a little alert here.
Yeah.
If you don't have a computer with a floppy disk drive, this is no good because it'll say, sorry, you can't use this. It'll only write the forgotten password to a floppy disk.
So it makes a floppy with the password on it.
That's what we're about to do.
I see.
But on my laptop, I tried that, and it said there's no floppy disk on this machine. Now, my guess is in future versions of Windows,
they'll put it on a CD.
They'll put it on a USB key or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just going to click on Next here. I'm going to say, it says insert a blank formatted disk into drive A,
great.
And we'll do that. Bang, bang, bang.
Now, does this disk, do you have to protect this disk with your life? I mean, without this disk, if somebody else gets this disk, they could get into your system?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can get into your installation of...
so it's important not to lose this disk or let it fall into the hands of strangers.
This is as important as your bank password and all those kinds of things.
All right, make this disk.
So anyway, we're going to go click Next. Current user password. I know what that is.
That's why you have to do this now, not later. Right. You have to know it for it to work.
And click on Next.
Real quickly, what's the third tip?
And the last tip is just System Restore is used to recover an older version of Windows. To
roll it back to a working time. Now, we've shown you this before.
We have.
But what we didn't show you is you can do it in DOS.
You can do it in DOS. And essentially, if I go into Windows, System32, Restore, and I run RST RUI, and this is on the show notes, so I promise you don't have to record this show. Now,
it runs it.
We are in Windows because we're in a Windows DOS box right now. But if you're in safe mode at a command prompt and you do this, you type that command, what will happen is a DOS version of System Restore will pop up.
Oh, so you can run it. Now, and very often that's the case where the thing's not working.
It won't boot into Windows.
What good is System Restore if you can't get Windows booted? Right. Well, you can use it from the DOS prompt in the recovery.
It's not documented. It's a hard to find kind of tip. RESTRUI.exe.
If you want to learn more tricks, this guy knows them. Check out our show notes, callforhelptv.com. Come back and do more of those. I like that.
Yeah, I like
those.
Those
are fun.
They are fun.
First, it's time to take our daily quiz. Our question of the day, what does DNS stand for? DNS. Is it Domain Name System, Diamond News Service, Dropped Network Server, or Do Not Send? Go to the website, give us the answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues. Stay here. Set up my special Call for Help cup holder here. Oh, hi, welcome back to Call for Help. Just, making it homey. Leo Laporte here, coming up in a little bit for our free file of the day. Monica has something good to wake you up. I could use something to wake me up. That'd be good. We'll do that in a second. But let's take some more calls. Who do we have on the line, Ms. Latanwa?
Well, homie.
Homie? Call me homie?
Well, you're feeling
I'm going to homify this place.
We have Maggie from Hornpain, Ontario.
Hey, Maggie! How are you?
Hi, Leo. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to the show.
Right on.
Right on. What can I do for you today?
Well, my question is, we were browsing some web pages, and we would get a error.
Yeah.
It says, runtime error has occurred. Do you wish to debug?
Oh, I hate it when you get that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
What the heck is that?
What is that? No
That's
user
a good
serviceable.
question, Leo.
Thank you, Greg. Our sound man has turned into a robot. That's actually a really great question, and frankly, nothing you can do anything about, to be honest with you. Now, the error you get will vary depending on which version of Internet Explorer you're using. I get this particular error. Problems with this web page might prevent it from being displayed properly. Andy on his system has the same bug causing probably what you're seeing. Can we get Andy's system up for a second, just so that we can show that? Because his has the other error message that probably is the one Maggie sees, because she said this: a runtime error has occurred. Do you wish to debug? Now, Maggie, there's no reason you should be seeing that, because you can't do anything about it. It's an error in the scripting code of the web page. In this case, actually, it was nice of Andy. He wrote this little buggy JavaScript for me, and that's what I ran here. You see, all he did is, when he wrote this JavaScript, is he had 3 S's in the word message. There's a typo. If you could show that for me. That's on my computer over here. That is all it takes. Now, the problem is, Maggie, you can't fix this. The only person who can fix this error is the guy who wrote the code, the webmaster. So these error messages are really kind of worthless for you.
Yeah, because when you if you say, yes, I want to debug. Oh,
then you're really sorry, aren't you?
Well, it takes you into the MS script editor.
Yeah.
And then what do we do from there?
Right, exactly. Well, that's, I guess, probably why Microsoft in later versions, this might be an SP2 computer, that's probably the difference, has changed this so it no longer launches the debugger. But let's turn that message off completely. How about that? So what we're going to do is go to Tools Internet Options, Maggie.
Okay.
Tools Internet Options, and we're going to click the Advanced tab, because all the really good stuff is here under the Advanced tab. And, for the life of me, I do not know why they set this way, but by default, debugging is turned on. What you want to do is, if you under browsing, you'll see disable script debugging. I want you to check that, and then you want you underneath it uncheck display a notification about every script error. Why the heck would you want that? You're not writing the scripts. Why should you know there's a problem?
Yeah.
So once you click that and say OK, you will no longer get that error. See, I'm going to the page. There's no more errors. They're all gone. I don't see them anymore.
Oh.
So that's a silly thing, frankly, and I don't know why. I have a feeling in later versions of Windows they've turned that feature off or modified it, because it really shouldn't be the default, but it was for a long time.
Okay.
All right.
Well, SP2 does actually fix it.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I think SP2 changes
Because we
it.
haven't had it since we got the update.
You know, it's funny. It only took Microsoft about 3 years to really figure out how Windows XP should be set up for a normal person. And that's what happens. I mean, if you think about it, people like you write in and say, what is this? Or, they see it on the show a million times. They go, maybe we ought to fix that. And they finally have. Yeah, they took it out. But that's how you change it. If you're still getting that error, it's very simple. You just go in Internet Options. And if you're a webmaster and you want to see, and probably you should see this if you're designing a web page, just turn it back on and go to your web page and browse through your page and see if you can get those errors to happen. You shouldn't be able to.
Right.
Hey, Maggie, I thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Have you been watching the show?
Oh, yeah.
You like it?
Yes.
You had to say that.
Yes, and I visit Leoville quite often.
Oh, well, that's great. That's very nice. Well, it's nice to have you there.
Alrighty.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Maggie. Now, it's time for our free file of the day. Let's walk on over to say hi to Monica. And it walks, it talks, it makes music. Hey, Basil, how you doing? Gotta say hi to Basil every time I go by. Hey, Monica, how are you?
Hi, Leo.
So what do we got here?
We've got, before my brother asked me, is there an alarm clock that you can put on your computer? Because he's always working on the computer.
Right.
And, sometimes you fall asleep.
Yeah. I use an alarm clock. When I travel, I want to have a computer alarm clock instead of having a wake-up call, because I hate
Wake up! Wake up! Come on!
I hate that. The phone ringing, it drives me crazy.
Exactly.
So I'd like something nice. Maybe could this play music, and like peaceful, sweet music, and slowly lull me?
Lull you back to snooze?
Lull me out of my snooze.
So this is called a talking alarm clock, which you can get.
Does it talk?
It can. You can make it talk.
Okay.
You can get this from cinnamonsoftware.com.
Say that again.
Cinnamonsoftware.com.
Okay.
And this is a talking alarm clock. So in order to set a new alarm clock, just go to Edit, New Alarm. But since I've got one already for us, Call for Help demo.
So let's see what happens now. You set it for any time and all that stuff.
Yep. Schedule right here. Once daily, weekly, monthly, just like a normal alarm clock.
That's kind of nice. So you could set it way ahead, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. That's better than your regular alarm.
And options, you can play a sound. You can. It's got some options here for you. Little sound effects there. Or you can browse through your music files and select an MP3 that you want to play. Mm-hmm. Or you can record yourself.
Now, I think you recorded a special wake-up message just to get me gently and slowly out of bed.
Yeah. So let's see if this works. Show the alarm now. Oh,
it's
I forgot to
57. Call for help demo.
I like that.
Wake up, Leo!
Wow, Petey the Parrot just sounds just like you. Wow.
And so that's what it's going to look like. And you can use Microsoft agents to animate your alarm.
I like that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, so
how much is that?
This is free.
Free! Oh, it says so right here. Cinnamon software. Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome.
Wow.
So if you want more information on that, you can go to our website, callforhelptv.com.
Right. Callforhelptv.com. Thanks for the free file today, Monica. Coming up in just a little bit, Marcel Gagne joins us, our Linux expert. He's going to show us some insider info on...
Wake up!
Thank you very much. People who want to move from Windows to Linux, how to make it a little bit more homey, you say right here. Homey, right? Homey. I'm one of the homeboys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if I wear this hat, I'll be more homey. We'll be right back. Why is he wearing a hat? I don't know. Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. We're joined by our Linux master, Marcel Gagne. I know why you're wearing the hat, because you write the Linux cookbook.
The Linux journal, Cooking with Linux.
Cooking with Linux.
That's right. And this is the infamous hat. And
is that the picture on the column?
That's the picture on the column. It's also the picture on the back of the books. I'm never going to live this down. It's my life from here on in. Right. And besides, I thought it was supposed to be a hat show.
Yeah, well, I took mine off. But you can keep wearing yours.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I might just not. You don't mind, do you?
Now, Marcel, you're here today to show us something called transitional applications. What is that?
Well, it's a little expression I use use, basically, I mean, I want everybody to switch and run Linux. I think that it would be much better for them from a security perspective, from a fun perspective, from a whole bunch of perspectives. But of course, I'm willing to accept that that's not necessarily going to happen right off the bat. And as with any dangerous addiction, I mean, sometimes you have to have a little help. Like, you know, if you're trying to quit smoking, you need the patch, you know, or you take nicotine gum or something like that. So these applications are applications that were either designed under Linux and can run equivalent. I mean, there's an equivalent that runs under Windows, or they were, you know, they always had applications available for both sides.
So if you're used to it on Windows, it'll be the same on Linux.
Precisely. And so you can think of these as the nicotine patch of, you know, Linux applications, you know, to get you off Windows. And
does it matter what Linux distribution you use for this stuff? Okay. So any version of Linux will be fine.
Pretty much. And of course, any modern distribution will have a lot of these applications already included. But I'll also tell you where you can find some of these things as well.
Let's start off.
All right. The first thing that I'd like to show you is, I mean, the classic application that everybody uses, obviously, is the web browser.
Yeah.
And
there's no Internet Explorer on Windows.
There is under Linux. Yeah. No Internet Explorer.
No.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's such a bad thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a very dangerous application. We're telling people not to use it anymore.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of that happening right now. No, this one is called Firefox. It's from www.mozilla.org. That's mozilla.org. And the reason I like Firefox is it's just a web browser.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's sleek, fast. It's a beautiful little web browser.
It's free.
It's free. It can be downloaded. It does neat things like run tabs, so you can actually sit there and have...
I like tabbed browsing.
I love tabbed browsing. So rather than opening multiple browsers on your desktop, you just click tabs and so forth. It doesn't do pop-ups, so you don't have to worry about those annoying pop-up ads and so forth. And it's a much more secure, much safer environment in which to browse, you know, the internet.
We recommend it on Windows. I use it on Windows and Mac.
Yeah. So if you're used to working with it under Windows, as soon as you switch over to Linux, you know, you sit there and you go, hey, I'm familiar with this. I've been working with this before.
Truth is, even if you use Internet Explorer, this isn't going to feel so very familiar.
No, but I mean, a web browser is a web browser. You know, forward, click back, click the links, all that sort of stuff. So it's not a big deal. The next thing that I want to talk about is something called Mozilla Thunderbird. Now, you also get this one from the Mozilla website. And what this is it's an email client.
Right.
And it's a very nice email client. It has spam filtering capabilities. It isn't going to install adware or spyware for you. It's got some nice security features built in and so forth. And it supports, you know, basically all the functions that you're looking for in an email client. Right. Again, very nice email client. Runs exactly the same under Windows as it does under Linux. And, you know, it's very nice. Of course, I've got a lot of spam here, which is already flagged as such.
Right. This is a nice program. I have to say, I really like it. They've done a nice job. It is beta, right? It's not
it is beta, but quite honestly, it's an extremely stable beta.
Right.
As in,
Firefox just came out October 1st. Is finally out of beta.
Actually, it's 0.93 at the moment. So it's
when this airs, it'll be out.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Okay. And I'm not sure if Thunderbird's still going to be in beta by then, but anyway, it's stable. So
it's stable. It's a perfectly stable application. Lots of people are using it. I wouldn't worry about recommending it to anyone. And it's a beautiful little package, and it will keep you a lot safer than say running something like what's that email package?
Outlook.
Something like that.
Well, that's true because even when it does HTML email, it does it in a safer way.
Precisely. Precisely.
What else
of course, the other application we've mentioned this one before. This is one that is a great transitional application because this is one that will save you a small fortune if you decide to use it. And this is actually something called OpenOffice, and it's a replacement for Microsoft Office. And it's got a replacement for basically Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and a couple of other applications as well included in there.
And it can read and write those files.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And of course, if you try to go out and you buy a copy, for instance, of Microsoft Office, it will cost you several $100s, whereas this is a free download.
That's great. Windows and Linux also.
Windows and Linux.
Yeah. And is it pretty stable on Windows, or is it
extremely?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Extremely. Well, it's as stable as running anything under Windows is going to be.
Right.
Am I supposed to say that?
No, you can be honest. Be honest. Absolutely.
Be honest. The other application that I wanted to talk about is this one here. Now, we all use instant messaging, right? I mean, it's a big thing today, and a lot of us are, might have an account on MSN. We might have an account on Jabber. I personally like to use Jabber because it's an open protocol. Yahoo, ICQ, AOL. There's a whole bunch of different protocols out there. This is actually a really nice little chat client called Game. And it's called GAIM, game, however you want to pronounce it.
Now, does it only do AIM, or does it do other?
Well, that's just it. It's multi-protocol. So it will do Yahoo, it will do MSN, it will do Jabber, it will do, a whole bunch of different things. It will do IRC as well. Like right now, as you can see, there's a little IRC session going on my own personal IRC server.
It's called Game, but it does everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think start as an AIM client, and they kind of added.
Yeah, and they added all sorts of things. So now it is like, this amazing multi-protocol client.
Wow, that's great.
And it is actually really, really wonderful. And as you can see in the list there, we've got a whole bunch of different types of clients represented. And this one is available under Windows as well. And again, it works exactly the same way under Windows as it does under Linux. Now, the beauty is if you're used to running something like MSN Messenger, you get those little pop-up things that happen and so forth. Nothing like that here.
Right.
It's really wonderful. You don't have to worry about any of those things. And you have this wonderful client instead of having one for Yahoo and one for Jabber and one for MSN and so forth. Everybody's on the same one. You get to talk to all your friends, family. It's great stuff. And when you're ready to switch to Linux, you're already comfy with all these things.
You may not like this, but I think mostly people are going to download these and use them on Windows.
Yeah, but if they download them and use them on Windows,
kind of starting. Is that the idea?
That's the idea. Well, it's the thin edge of the wedge as well. But the idea is that they'll be comfortable with it. They'll be familiar with it under Windows. But under Linux. But keep in mind that under Windows, you're still going to deal with the adware. You're still going to deal with spyware. You're still going to deal with
all those other problems.
But at least now you're getting familiar with some of the things under Linux, and you know that it's not so scary.
So Game, Open Office, and you might want to take Firefox and Thunderbird as well.
Firefox and Thunderbird. Use them, love them.
Use them on Windows. And then someday, perhaps, Linux will be in your face.
And the next time that we get together, I'll show you some just, cool Linux-only stuff.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it'll be balls of fun.
Thank you. Marcel Gagne, put the hat back on.
Put the hat back on. Hang on a second.
He shows you how to cook with his Linux Cooking with Linux in the Linux Journal.
That's right.
The book, and the new book is called Kiss the Blue Screen of Death Goodbye. Yes. Well, I think we know what he's talking about.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about.
If you want to see more or you want to get links to these programs, of course, our website, callforhelptv.com. All right, Marcel, I appreciate it. More phone calls to come. Stick around. Lots more to come on Call for Help. I'll put on my hat now.
All right, you put on your hat. No, wait a minute. You put on the sunglasses.
Sunglasses too? Now I have all my hats in one place. That's what we need. Hey, welcome back to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte. Let's take some more of your calls. Before we do that, I want to remind you that without your calls, there wouldn't be a Call for Help. So keep those emails coming in. We'd love you to be part of the show. And, of course, if you go to callforhelptv.com, click the button, ask a question. It actually helps us because it has a little form there that tells us what operating system, when you're available, that kind of thing. Makes it a little easier for us to get you on the line. Speaking of which, let's get another caller on the line. Monica has been working feverishly behind the scenes to call and get somebody on the horn here. Who do you have for us?
I've got Chris from Toronto.
I love it that it's all Canadian calls today. A little bit different from the last few weeks. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Leo. How are you?
I'm doing great. What can I do for you today?
I've got a quick question for you, Leo.
Yes.
I'm in the unfortunate position here. I'm doing some video editing work.
Okay.
And I'm constantly transferring large files to an FTP for clients to download.
You're uploading them?
I'm uploading, yes.
Yep.
And the problem that I'm having here is my DSL high speed. It's not quite cutting it because I'm pretty far from the home base, and I'm not transferring it faster than a meg.
Right. It's capped upstream anyway. Most of the time when you buy DSL, unless you spend a lot of money, you get something called asymmetric DSL. In fact, that's ADSL is what it technically is. And it's higher speed down than up. And you want a high speed up because you're uploading all this massive stuff.
Well, I've done some research on something called a twin LAN box.
Mm-hmm.
Which, from my understanding, you can combine two separate services to increase your bandwidth. Now, is this something that actually works?
You'd have to have an FTP server that was smart enough to handle this, or else I guess if you had the router doing all the work. There are a couple of companies that make these things, and we tried them out because there was a lot of interest in this. Mostly it was people who said, hey, if I get two cable modems or two DSL modems or get a cable and a DSL modem, can I double my bandwidth downstream? Exactly. And that's a little more tricky because you go to different websites, you can't ask twice. But yours is a more specific situation where you're uploading, and so you could, in theory, split up that file, or the router could split up that file into different pipes. That should work just fine. There's one company called Netcom that makes one of these. It's called a bandwidth aggregator. But all of these that I'm aware of are designed for download, and that's why it's kind of a little. I'm not sure how it would affect your upload speed. Is it Netcom? What is it? Netcom?
Netcom.com.au.
Of course. That's all right. We'll just go to netcom.com.au. It's an Australian company. I forgot that part. Oops. No.
www.netcom.
I left off the www. Let's try that. And we've lost our caller. Hello there. Are you there, Chris? I guess not.
There you go.
Well, I hope he's watching. We'll give you the answer anyway. There are a number of these. I have to say they're very, very expensive. Is part of the problem. This, you're going to pay a lot of money for these routers, and I have to look to see if they help you upstream. Because most of them are designed to help you downstream, and frankly, our experience has not been that great. Where is slash?
If you click on the red tab on the top left-hand corner,
SHDSL,
there's a $500 router.
Well, that's not too bad. This is Andy has been doing some. This is the bandwidth aggregator.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so aimed at improving the reliability. See, that's kind of, a lot of times this is used in Office because it's redundancy. The reliability there, because you have multiple internet service providers.
Right.
This allows you to combine two connections. But the question is it going to balance the load upstream? I guess it would. 500 is not awful. Is that Australian dollars?
That is Australian. It must be Australian dollars, yeah.
So I don't know. I have no idea what that would be in real money.
Well, it's the conversion to American is about the same as the Canadian conversion. So it's
about the same as Canadian dollars?
20-30% off that, and that's the price in American
But I think
dollars.
mostly you use these for redundancy, and you can see that's in fact what they emphasize. A business is going to use this because they this way, if you lose one of your connections, you've got the other connection there, so it automatically fail over. So,
but I got to think that perhaps if you're having bandwidth upstream problems, then why not just double up on your payment and get a small business type of broadband connection?
That's what I would suggest. Now, he said, are you still there, Chris?
Yeah.
You said you're pretty far from the central office for DSL.
The problem that I'm running into is I'm not serviced for cable in my area.
Yeah, and
the option is DSL.
The problem with DSL is this: when you get more than 2 kilometers away from the central office, it starts to really degrade, and they can't give you the highest speed service.
Yeah, I think I'm almost at 6 kilometers.
Oh my gosh!
Oh wow!
I'm surprised you get anything.
Bad.
Now, you could go get a leased line, and you could get a symmetric leased line, but that's going to cost you. That's what a T1 is, basically. It's going to start to cost you maybe $1,000 or more a month.
Yes.
So it depends on how important this is to you.
There's also satellite too.
But not upstream is not going to help you at all.
Oh, no, you're at
terrible
56K out.
And that's what's unusual about your problem, Chris, is you're talking about uploads, not downloads. Almost everybody says, I want faster downloads.
Well, I did look into satellite, but again, the same thing is
terrible.
DSL for upload, right?
It's terrible. What I would do is I would call your phone company. It sounds like that's the only way you're going to get high-speed internet. And I would price faster upstream lines. Often they'll offer you better deals. It won't be DSL, though, because of the distance from the central office, and that's when it starts to get expensive.
And the local phone service can provide something like this?
Well, that's who's providing your DSL right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would ask them what they could do for you better. Yeah, there are these switches. I think once you add the cost of, because you're going to have to buy more bandwidth anyway, and the cost of the switch, and I don't think you're going to get the results you want anyway. Good luck, Chris. That's an interesting question. I have to do some research on that and find out more. Our question for you, thank you, Chris. What does DNS stand for? It's our question of the day. Is it Domain Name System? Is it Diamond News Service? Is it Dropped Network Server? Or Don't Send? Do not send! Get the website. Give us the answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues. Stay right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you what DNS stands for, and if you said A, you would be correct. Now, it could be Domain Name System. That is one of the appropriate answers, but it's also Domain Name Server I would accept, and I would accept Domain Name Service. All three are used for DNS. It's what it is it's the Internet phone book. It's how if you enter in a URL, an address for a website like callforhelptv.com, the Domain Name Service looks up the server, the numeric address of the server, and then sends that back to you. So it's actually important. It's kind of like the phone book for the Internet.
Great shoes, Leo.
Thank you. Oh, you like my shoes?
Oh.
Very beautiful, huh? So everybody's seen these shoes. Everybody's seen these. I've worn these for years.
Hot. Yes.
So you want to chat or message with your friends? You would normally be using, of course, your favorite IM client, AIM or MSN Messenger or Yahoo. Problem is, you're at work maybe where they don't let you install an IM client, or you're somewhere at an internet cafe where they don't have that particular one.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do? You ask Monica Latamo for an answer.
You can use the web-based version.
So they see. Don't tell my daughter this, because you know what I do is I block. When she hasn't done her homework, I block the ports for AIM, so she can't use the AIM client. But she could use this.
Yeah.
Ooh,
oh, send the kids to bed.
Honey, Abby, don't watch.
Don't listen.
So how would she do? How would she do this?
Okay, so there's two of them. MSN has a web-based IM and ICQ.
Oh, cool. So AIM doesn't have it. I think America Online does.
I think
America Online does as well. Yeah, but don't tell her about that one. Just do the other two.
Okay, so go to the website, webmessenger.msn.com, and you'll get this webpage. And all you got to do is click Start MSN Web Messenger, and you'll get this window. And where you sign in, of course. So it's just like opening up your MSN program.
But it's a web page.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, all you can do is really message each other.
Okay.
So you can't transfer files or anything like that. You can transfer URLs and stuff. Right. But it's really more for messaging. And same thing with ICQ. Go to go.icq.com and click on Start ICQ to go, and you don't need to install any software. If they don't have ICQ on there, you just run it and just sign in like usual.
Any limitations on this one?
Same thing. You can't transfer files. You just message each other. You can use it on any browser so long as it's Java compliant.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Java.
Bring up your contact lists and everything.
Java ICQ. And Abby, there's nothing for AOL that does this. Nothing.
No. And don't go to the website.
Don't go to the AOL.com website to find out more, or callforhelptv.com to find out more, okay? Okay, dodge that bullet. You know, that's bad. That's bad. Hey, let's get another caller.
We have another caller, and we have Brent from Saanich, British Columbia.
Brent from Saanich. Let's go on over to the other side of the studio here. Oh, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the studio. Hey, Brent, how are you?
Hey, Leo. Pretty good. How are you?
I'm very well. What can I do for you today?
Okay, I have a question on DVDs.
DVDs.
How does a DVD player know what the difference is between an R disc?
How do it know?
An RW disc?
Right.
Or whether it's dual layer?
The truth is, there's no indicator to it. There's probably a bit on the disc, but the truth is, in fact, in the early days of recordables, DVD players were in fact confused by the recordables because they looked like they weren't quite as bright and so forth, and it would look at the disc and say, oh, this is a dual layer disc because it's darker, and it would try to read both layers. So I think that it figures it out based on, I'm sure there is some sort of indication on the disc, but I think it also figures it out based on what it's getting back from the disc, the brightness and so forth. Are you asking because you're thinking about burning discs, or what? Or is
I bought a dual layer burner.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was just curious what made the burner know what type of disc I stick in the drive.
That's a really good question. I mean, I'm sure there is. I would think that in the specification, I'll tell you what, let's look it up. On DVD Demystified, the DVD FAQ, if anybody would know, it'd be Jim Taylor here who runs the DVD Demystified FAQ. Let's see if he talks anywhere about, well, this is oh my god, oh holy, I don't know how I'm going to find it in here. Let me just point you to it. How about that? It's a really great website, and these are the kinds of questions that are asked there. I'm going to guess, and I'm guessing here, but I'm going to guess that part of the specification, there's a specification for all of these formats, is a identifier bit somewhere in the header.
Right.
So that when it's reading it, your DVD player really is a computer. It has software. It's in firmware. It's not on a hard drive or anything. And it really is a kind of a little mini dedicated computer. So it has the capability of looking at a disc and doing things like, well, what kind of disc are you? Mm-hmm. Things like that. So, but to be honest with you, I don't know, Brent. I don't know the exact answer to that. But Jim probably does. It's probably in here, and I have no idea where in here. So I'm not going to waste your time digging through it. But let me recommend it because I think this is a wonderful site. It's DVDdemystified.com, and then go to the DVD FAQ. everything you'd ever want to know. And I think he's updated this for dual layer as well. There's stuff
Hey, Leo.
dual layer. Yes, Andy.
I think that there's a specific file system unique to DVDs that...
Well, they're all UDP. That's the file system.
Not all of them. One's an ISO 9660.
That would be a CD, yeah. But I think almost all DVDs are UDP.
Okay.
So which ones are ISO?
DVD-ROM, it says.
Yeah, DVD-ROM. Yeah.
Right. So I would think if it would look for the file system and go, oh, look, this is DVD.
Well, that's how it would know. See, a DVD-ROM is a data disk, right? So that's how it would know if it looks at a DVD-ROM and say, oh, you're a data disk, you're ISO 9660, which is, by the way, what a CD is as well. Okay. But all the video disks are UDP, and I think that's not going to tell it. It's going to have to look at the file descriptor or something like that. Okay. Hey, thank you, Brent. I hope you get that right. Andy and I don't know. But I think that's probably a good guess. All right?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the call. Stick around, folks. When we come back, I'll tell you how you can get on this show. This very television show. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure it's in here. We'll look through here. I would be willing to bet that it's in the specifications for it.
The DVD forum was supposed to go to look for technical information, I guess, right?
The forum would tell you only about DVD DAC. Notes here. Be nice to Leo. Welcome back to Call for Help. A couple of final words. You said, okay.
Okay.
What?
Close your ears. Close your eyes. Don't pay attention. Abby. There is a web-based AIM messenger. Go to AIM.com, and if you look at my screen right now, you'll click on AIM Express.
You're killing me.
Of free tools, and it'll open it up where you just hit start, and you can just sign in. And
she doesn't know about that yet. Now, maybe it won't work on a Mac. I hope it won't work on a Mac. But that's what I do because you know what happens with kids? She's 12. Is they start chatting. You guys are probably too old. You didn't have chat when you were in
computers when I was a kid.
Did you?
Oh no.
Did you have chat?
Yeah, that's all I did.
School?
That's all I do.
You just chat all. Well, I know you do it now, but so when you were in school, you still.
And it came in handy a lot with homework. Actually.
Yeah, that's what she says. She says, "I'm doing my homework."
I don't done.
So if she's not got her homework done, then I go to the router and I block the AIM port. And she doesn't know that. She can't.
Now she does.
She says, "Dad, chat's broken." And I said, "Oh, gee, I don't know, honey. I'll work on that. Do your homework." And then when her homework's done, it magically gets fixed.
You know what's
now
going to
she's
happen?
going to be able to use port 80, and it's a web application.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to get a caller, an anonymous caller on the show.
Named Abby? When your dad cuts off instant messenger, is there a way to put it back? Well, the other thing is she'll come in while I'm doing it, right? And she'll try to look over my shoulder. Because she doesn't know, she doesn't understand that I'm doing it. I can do it from any computer in the house because I just go onto the router.
Yeah. She can become a network admin, though, and then you're going to be in deep trouble.
Believe me, she's already there. She's asking for my password.
Right.
She's trying to hack in. Every time I accidentally leave my account logged in, she'll make her account an administrator account.
Good for her.
Every time. If you want to be on the show, that's the web address. We'd love to get you on it. Callforhelptv.com. Just go to the website and click on Ask a Question, and we will get you on the show because we love your questions. It's great today. All Canada Day, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. So that's wonderful. I love having all those callers. But we like callers from all over the world. So please, anybody can go. Callforhelptv.com and ask them.
Yeah, Abby, go there. I'll have more information about the AIM.
Monica Latanwa, Andy Walker, I'm Leo Laporte. Remember, if you've got a problem with your person or confuser, don't whine, don't moan, don't yelp, don't hit the darn thing. That wouldn't be very nice. Just call for help. We'll see you next time. Be nice to Leo, but don't tell Abby.